Hello everyone. Very good evening to everyone here listening, watching this uh, YouTube. Today, 27 November 2020, raining day, and yeah, I guess it's the time to maybe do a short video session today. Okay, today's topic it's called my investing and trading framework. The very reason why I decided to do a short video on this is because I really want to share my thoughts on how to look at investing or trading from a rather formal framework lah. A framework that we can actually decide like this is how we look at this trade, this opportunity, this investment, and this is how we evaluate it, and this is how we go about it. It's actually comprised of 4 steps, which I'll go through it later. Okay, some housekeeping. Again, just to mention that all everything that's posted here on the YouTube channel. Here is a disclaimer. This is not an investment or trading advice or endorsement of any advice or recommendation or anything. Strictly for entertainment purpose, and if you're in doubt or anything, please contact your licensed financial planner or advisor. The thing is that a lot of people say, okay, why so 麻烦? Want to have a framework and why want to go through the steps? Why can't we just do the inikali lah and then buy low, sell high and just whack lah? Look at the charts and just do it lah. But seriously, we need we need a framework for very simple reasons. Number one is to formalize our investing and trading strategy. We want to do that because we want to achieve consistency. We don't want to say that we look at an apple today and the next day, hey, it's not an apple, it's actually an orange. We don't want to be like that. We want to be consistent. Because this market, there are so many asset classes. Yeah, maybe some variation on how you should trade it or invest in it. But the key point is that we have to have a clear thought process on how to go about this. So the key objective is to achieve consistency. The second point is when in doubt, an approach to reconfirm our understanding. Now, the market can be volatile today, like Bitcoin, or 1 or 2 days ago, Bitcoin went down like what, few $1,000s here and there. We need to have the reason why we went in, and the reason why when do we exit the trade or investment. Now, I'm mixing it between investment or trading because I believe it applies to both. It's a formal thought process on how we look at investing or trading. Number 3, keep our sanity in check. Like I said, again, tie back to consistency. Sometimes you keep questioning, why do I look at this trade and what went wrong, what went positively correct. We need to have something, a basis why we decided that in the first place. Of course, minimize the element of regret. Don't say that, I didn't exit, I didn't buy this, I didn't buy Bitcoin when it's 5,000. Why not? You gotta have that particular basis. Come back to the basis, the assumptions. The key point is, let's say you buy Bitcoin 5,000, then suddenly say you set your target price 6,005. Yeah, you sell at 6,006. You that is your basis. Why 6,006? Because you look at certain charts, target price potentially 6,006, and you're willing to quit. Or you may think of strategies that I sell 50% at 6,006. Another 50%, 8,000. That's possible, but then the Bitcoin went up to 19,000. But you look back, that was the basis you set, and that was the assumption you set for the trade. So you shouldn't be regretting about it. Okay, this is my personal 4-step investing or trading framework. if you see my blog, or which I will show to you one simple case study that I did earlier, is how I approach investing or trading is in these 4 simple steps. First step is we must have a directional assumption of our trade, of our investment. Do you want to long it? I mean, you are bullish about it? Do you want to short it because you're bearish about it? Or do you think will be a neutral, that means trading in range or bound? This is the first key point. What do you think? Okay, what is your assumption? Up, down, or stay in between? Number 2, step 2 is finding the narrative. This is the crux of everything, the heart of the answer of the trade. The reasons for the directional assumptions. For example, why enter into this trade? Do you think Bitcoin will continue to go up? Why? That's the narrative. Do you think that Microsoft will go down because certain things? That is the narrative. We need to find the narrative. We need to find the basis. Again, I mentioned about the basis, underlying assumptions, the underlying reasons why we make that directional assumption. Now, the third step is investment or trading strategy. This is how you implement your assumptions, and whether you want to bullish, you want to be bearish, or you want to be range bound. Now, of course, how do we enter? At what price? Do we enter when it rebounds or retracement? If you look at technical analysis, do we buy when there's a margin of safety? We look at investment from margin of safety, value investing angle. When do we exit? When you hit your target price, when there are bad news, when there are, when it hits your, based on technical or fundamental, and what instrument? Okay, of course, there are equity options and other, CFD and all those things. So this is something when it comes to investment and trading strategy. That is the third step. The fourth step is very important, to think about downside risk. And this is something to link back to the third point. When do we exit? What can go wrong? What can seriously go wrong? Think about it. Sometimes things can go seriously wrong that actually it will change the fundamental assumptions and narrative of the whole investment or trading. Therefore, you will take corrective action. So that will link to when do we exit. So 4 steps. First, directional assumptions. 2, second, finding the narrative. 3, investment and trading strategy. 4th is downside risk. Now I'm going to share a simple past write-up or past blog post that I posted this month for Dayang Enterprise, and how I assess it using the 4 steps framework. Okay, this is my blog my blog post on 24th November, betting on Brand rebound, and this is Dayang Enterprise. Okay, Dayang Enterprise is a Malaysian company that does provision for maintenance services, fabrication, operation, hookup. It's kind of for oil and gas sector. Now, first of all, the first step is directional assumption. I am bullish about Dayang Enterprise personally. Now, again, back to the disclaimer, this is strictly for illustrative. It's my personal observation. Please treat this as strictly for illustrative and for entertainment purpose. The narrative is that we know Brand has been on range bound, and therefore momentum appears to pick up. I mean, we're looking at post-COVID, hence the recovery story, and recovery links to Brand. So if Brand goes up, therefore we would expect a positive impact directly on the oil and gas player like Dayang. So this is some of the write-up on why I think that Brand may go up further. Okay, then I'm also looking at the company prospect based on the latest quarterly. Of course, the trading strategy will be very much on because I look at the oil and gas Dayang. I look at this more from a technical perspective. It's more like not so much for investment, but for trading. So if you look at that, you look at the chart, so there's certain resistance, cut loss, This is again, this is strictly for illustrative, all right? So this is just to demonstrate how I use the 4 steps approach. Of course, last but not least, look at the 4th one, which is possible downside risk recovery that does not materialize. This is very real. Sometimes it will take longer than it is, and prolonged COVID cases, OPEC, and all those things. So this will take long. What's the impact on Biden pushing on Brent? Would it be better? Would it be higher or lower? Again, this is how I use the 4 steps to demonstrate my investment or trading strategy. Okay, now we reach that's it for my 4 steps approach. Now we reach the last slide. Again, every day or every time I want to post a YouTube video on the channel, I want to end something about the market. Today, good news from Malaysia. We have signed the Pfizer 12.8 million COVID vaccine doses to be readily available by next year. So that means what I link back to my old session is the recovery is sustainable when the vaccine is really here, and we are seeing the tangible implementation plans that the vaccine is coming. At least it will cover, I think, at least 20 to 30% of the population in 2021. That is one good move. They're saying that those 12.8 divided by 6.4, they will cover about 20 over plus percent of the population. Of course, the priority will be the frontliner. Okay, again, the message is that the recovery is sustainable when the distribution of vaccine is tangible. I think that's it. Okay, so thank you so much for listening to this short YouTube present video. Especially, I think the message that I want to highlight is the 4-step investing and trading framework, which I use it personally to decide on my investment or trading decisions. Again, whatever I presented here is strictly, back to the disclaimer, it's not an investment or trading advice or endorsement of any sort. Thank you so much.